How's it going, guys? Today I just thought we would take some time to bring out a long time owned gun that I've had on the channel a few times. That is my Taurus PT92. I've had this gun for, I guess, probably 20 years or so. In fact, if you go back on my channel, you can find the video where I did a 15-year review. This gun is one that I haven't had out in a while. Just thought that I would bring it out today and do a little bit of shooting with it and bring you guys along. Now, if any of you all are familiar, you know that the Taurus PT92 is very similar to the Barretta 92. Of course, that was one of the things that drew me to this gun years ago. Just the features on it. I love the Barrettas, and at that time I was not able to afford a Barretta, but I could afford this and I bought it. So it is one that's been in my collection for quite some time, and it's been a lot of fun. I have used this thing for countless concealed carry classes that I've done, just as a demonstration piece for folks that are new to firearms, just to show them some of the way that various components on the firearms work. It's a great gun, and thought that we would get it out today and do a little shooting. Now, the ammo that I'm using today is called bluegrass ammo. This is not a sponsored video in any way. However, I'd like to talk to these guys if they're out there. bgammo.com. This is the pack here that the ammo came in as, just some 115 grain ball, and just I wanted to do some shooting, try out the ammo, spend a little time with this gun, and figured that I would bring you guys along. So that's where we are now. So let's get on with a little bit of shooting. Now, I'm going to take this gun down to the double action pull just for my first shot, and then of course with this particular gun the follow-up shots will be single action. So we're back at about 15 yards, and let's just have a little fun. Of course, the gun runs flawlessly. I've never really had any issues with this gun. The only trouble that I had out of it back several years ago was I had the magazine release to actually break. And other than that, I've not had any trouble out of it. I sent it back to Taurus, and they took care of it for me. And since then, it's run like a champ. You know, it's been 100%. I've had no issues with it, and just wanted to get it out and have a little fun with it. Now, for those of you all that are familiar with these guns, you will know that one of the differences between the Tauruses and the Barrettas is the frame mounted safety, which also acts as a decocker for this gun. You know, if I have the gun decocked or cocked, I can simply press this down and it will take it down to where your first shot is a double action shot. Of course, some of the newer Barrettas, they also have the safety moved back down to the frame. Now, going back in a little bit of firearms history for you guys, Taurus did not pioneer the frame mounted safety on these guns. The early Barrettas actually had that their safeties mounted on the frame, and then of course they eventually moved it to the slide, and then from that, they have, some of the newer models, they have brought it back down to the frame as well. But you know, this gun, a lot of fun. As you can see, what we were just doing there, no issues with it whatsoever. So we're just going to load up another mag and keep going. Another thing about this gun is the accessory rail. That's something that I really like. It works good for home defense, especially if you're going to mount a light. And that's one of the biggest things about a home defense firearm, is having a light on it. This is a DefendTech light that I'd actually done a video on a while back on my channel, my YouTube channel, and YouTube demonetized it for some reason, because apparently they don't like flashlights as well as guns. But I'll leave a link down in the description to where you can go over to Amazon and pick one of these up if you are in the market for a budget light. And this one is pretty good. But just simply slips onto the accessory rail like that. I can reach the button just like that. If you turn it off and back on, it has the strobe feature. You know, very nice. And for those of you guys freaking out right now about me pointing the gun back at you, I'm not pointing it at you, I'm pointing it at a camera, okay? So just calm down. So what we're going to do now, I'm just going to leave that on there just to see how it affects the recoil, you know, see if it flattens it out any. But you know, this gun doesn't have much recoil as it is. I mean, it's a 9mm, functions flawlessly, cycles great. And you know, let's just go ahead and ring some more steel, shall we? Okay guys, let's just take a closer look at my Taurus PT92, shall we? Of course, you can still see that I've got the DefendTech light mounted, and this thing comes right off very easily, so we'll just move that out of the way. Since we are at the range and we have been shooting, for you safety Sallies out there, just to show you, the gun is empty. There's nothing in the magazine. There is nothing in the chamber. As I mentioned before, this gun is one that I've had for a couple of decades. You can see the wear marks to where I have in the past carried this gun. At one time, this was a gun that I would conceal carry. It is a full-sized 9mm, but you know, for me, you know, depending on how I was dressed at that time, I didn't really have any issues concealing this firearm. Now, other folks would probably have a little bit of difficult time with it. If you're smaller frame, it might be harder for you to conceal. However, this is still a great option if you are looking for something for the range, for something for home defense, that sort of thing. And as I mentioned, the safety is ambidextrous on this gun, and it also acts as a decocker to where you can carry it cocked and locked to where the first trigger press is single action, or you can simply pull down and decock it to where that first trigger press would be double action. Okay, that's something that is known for these guns, the Barrettas, the Tauruses. I'm sure that many of you guys probably already know the history behind the PT92. You know, it has the open slide here to help dissipate the heat on when you're shooting. It comes with 17-round magazines, are the ones that I have does. A lot of the aftermarket mags that I've seen, a lot of those are 15-round magazines. Now, one thing about the Taurus Pistols as well, you do have this security lock, which keeps the gun from firing. You know, I personally never use those. You know, I just use other practices to make sure that my firearms are secured. But this gun has been, as I'd mentioned, reliable for, you know, a couple of decades. You know, and of course it's got the wear. You know, it's 20 years old. You know, it's got some wear on it. It is, now one thing that I don't like about it is the sights. These sights are basically fixed. They're basically formed into the frame. The rear is dovetailed. You know, you can tell there. I mean, I could change out the rear. However, that front sight post is made as part of that slide. It would require some machining and things like that, and that I just really don't want to do. This gun is great as it is. I know there's things that I could if I wanted to spend the money on it, but you know, there again, this gun serves its purpose very well. It's very reliable, a lot of fun to shoot, just like today. That's why I wanted to get it out and just show it to you all, get your thoughts on it, and have a little fun. It's getting a little later out here, guys, so I just thought that I would go ahead and wrap up this video. This gun, it's a lot of fun. It is very enjoyable to shoot, decently accurate, especially at close range. This ammo is the first time I had used any of that ammo. Seemed to do fine, no issues with it cycling. If any of you guys have used the bluegrass ammo before, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I may try to pick up some more of it because it seemed to function pretty good, especially for just range ammo. Let me know your thoughts on the Taurus PT92. Do you have any experience with them? Have you ever shot one? You know, I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comments below. I know these guns have been out on the market for a very long time. Some people love them, some people do not. Personally, me, I own one, and if you are a follower of this channel for any length of time, you know that I don't own guns that I don't like, and this is one that I like. So I think my camera's drooping down a little bit, so just bear with me. And just a little bit quick of adjustment. But guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Be sure to visit my website at boomsticktactical.com. Check out all of the links down in the description. Don't forget about my Rumble channel. There again, I have migrated all of my channel here over to Rumble, and I will be doing Rumble exclusive videos. Okay, that's something that I've been wanting to do for a while. There's things that I want to do that I cannot do here on YouTube. I will put those videos over on Rumble where you guys can go and check them out. Guys, if you would like to support the channel, check out all the affiliate links down in the description. You know, you do have the option for purchasing t-shirts right down below as well. That's another way to help the channel. Thanks for watching. Check out all the links down below, and we'll see you next time.